Lamont Roach been having some good interviews recently. He stopped on All the Smoke Fight podcast um with Andre Ward, and he had some good talks. The interview was very good. Just dropped on the podcast online on YouTube. You can definitely see it. It was a good talk. He explained a lot of different things that's going on. Revealed a lot of different things too as well. The biggest news I heard recently that I didn't know that Lamont Roach said. Most of everything else he kind of had an idea about what he said. But as far as when he brought up the thing about him having the flu, the week of up until like I want to say 5 days before the fight, that's the week of the fight. Um, I was kind of noticing I didn't see a lot of footage. I seen like the footage I seen was like 2 weeks away from the fight, probably 3 weeks away. But I noticed like the week, probably like a week before the fight, week of, you can kind of tell. I was like, it wasn't a lot of footage of Lamont Roach doing much up until that point on his his episodes he was dropping on the Reaper Roach YouTube channel. But everything I was looking at, I was like, it don't make a lot of sense. I'm not seeing a lot from Lamont Roach. But he revealed that he had the flu up until the week of the fight. And that affected him working out, gaining weight, everything else. You putting a lot of fluids in your body, you're laying around. You got to eat certain things to even be able to have energy. You're fighting the cold off, so he could have easily just said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna cancel the fight." 'Cause we've seen a few people get close to the fight recently, and they've had a cold, and the fight has gotten canceled. The fact that wasn't even news shows you that Lamont Roach came to fight. So the excuses everybody had as far as Tank wasn't focused on anything else, Lamont Roach had plenty of things happen before that fight happened. Plenty of things. Having the flu is definitely a good reason to shut it down. And you finna fight Tank and the contract already signed. And you got a good reason to be like, hey man, I can't even do it. But he went along with the fight. That shows a lot. And he also came out and said a lot of things about details of the fight, the biting incident. I think I had went over that like during the fight when we was actually watching it live. And some other things too. But he also said the Tank is too small. He was like he wasn't very strong as far as his clinching and everything else. He said Tank is too small. And I tried to say that recently to a lot of people. I was saying, man, for him to be blowing up in between these fights the way he does, and for him to be a small guy with a small frame, it's not very good, like long term. And for Roach to say he's not that strong, and people got to realize Tank is an older guy than Roach, has a lot more punching power. But for him not to have any strength at this point in his career, it's not something that's surprising. But you would definitely, me personally, I would definitely like to see Tank a little bit stronger, just a little bit, so he can kind of rough these guys up on the inside. But that's just me personal preference. Everybody already has their talents and skills they're good at. We already know Tank is a world class generational knockout artist, so it's not like he's not doing things already the right way. But as far as Roach saying he's too small, and he wasn't joking either. He wasn't poking fun at him saying, "Oh yeah, he's too small." He was saying, "No, he's feel like he's too small because Roach has dealt with guys who were probably around the same weight class or a little bit bigger that was extremely strong compared to what he was, but it's not all about that when it comes to fighting." And he said also that don't get it confused, a lot of people might see me fight Tank and think that he's easy fight now. He's like, nah, that's just what I was able to do, but Tank ain't no easy fight for nobody. He's still cracking everybody. He's still be able to knock guys out, put them to sleep, which I know already. It's not like that because he ran into Roach, it's all over or something like that. It just might be one of those situations. But I can definitely see why he said he's too small because a lot of people seen Tank and Roach in the ring, and Roach was a bigger guy. And people said that Roach was small. Yeah, he's small compared to other guys, but him and Tank are about the same size. And, he was able to withstand a lot of his power. And that just goes to show that the differences guys have when they're moving up in weight and when they're not. A lot of guys have gotten stronger when they moved up in weight recently. Virgil Ortiz, he looks stronger. Ryan, you can name a lot of people. You can even throw Tiafimo out there. Um, Lamont Roach. You can name a few people. In a way, a lot of people have moved up and look stronger. So it's not something that's surprising for him to say too small or something like that. To other people, they might think he's trying to take shots. But for him to have the flu up until that point, nah, you can't have no excuses. To be honest with you, that lets you know right now that wasn't the best version of Lamont Roach that you're gonna be able to see. That wasn't the best version of Lamont Roach. He just pulled a Jordan game, a flu game type of thing. Because up until the week of the fight, to have a cold or a sickness, yeah, guys is checking out. That's in the NFL. That's in it, and people say nah because he still had the week to get ready, bro. In the NFL, if a dude is sick the week of the game, he ain't playing, bro. If a dude is sick game week, he ain't playing. Period. He ain't playing, and it's a lot more on the line than just he already a champion, so it's a lot more on the line than just this ain't no one game. So it's a bigger thing for him to actually go on there and risk it like that. So yeah, way bigger deal. Yeah, Lamont Roach definitely and he said the one thing that did stuck out to me was he said he got some things to say about what went wrong that happened. He can't even tell until after the rematch. And he also confirmed, the rematches. It looked like it's gonna happen. Unless something drastic goes wrong, which I don't see going wrong. I see that rematch happening. There's too many people asking about it now. It's becoming a clear cut thing that everybody wants to see that fight. And no other fight. I haven't heard any other requests. So